We broke the story on the website yesterday about Garry Shandling dying, and now we have some information. And tragically, he was minutes from going to the hospital where his life could have been saved, it turns out.
Yeah, he started feeling badly the day before on Wednesday and had told his doctor that he was going to get help on Thursday morning. And that was, like you say, minutes away.
The doctor had actually gone over to the house on Wednesday to see him, and he said he was achy, he had shortness of breath. And the doctor was kind of concerned and said, gee, you know, you might want to go to the hospital the next day if you don't feel good. But the doctor was concerned enough to call the next day.
Yeah, guys, this is really sad. So like you said, the doctor then called around 10 a.m.
And I remember that, and the call went in, the 911 call came in a half hour later.
Yeah, around 10:30. So on that call, though, at 10 a.m., the doctor, it was a friend of his who's a doctor, told him, and he said, look, you know, you should probably go into the ER. And
because Garry said he was still feeling that shortness of breath and achiness.
Exactly. So he said, you know what, go. And Garry replied back, okay, I'll have a friend take me. And the eerie part is that then around 10:30, 10:45, the 911 call comes in, which we broke the story that he actually called himself, but dropped off in the middle of the call, having the heart attack. And so when the ambulance showed up, because the call had dropped, they saw a limousine service sitting outside of the house. The limousine service is the friend. It's the person Garry called to take him to the ER. So the sad thing is that if he would have been able to get into that car into the ER, they may have been able to save his life at the hospital.
So obviously, if the call, you know, if he would have made the decision a half hour earlier, that, you know, who knows whether he would have been saved or not. I mean, we don't know for sure. And he had a massive heart attack. Look, they haven't established cause of death yet, but we are told from, you know, multiple sources this was a massive heart attack, and who knows whether he could have been saved.
That's not the kind of thing you know is coming on.
But they would have at least probably zeroed in on the heart.
Well, obviously, whatever he was feeling at 10 o'clock wasn't severe enough that he felt, I got to go now.
Well, no, but he
put it off for another.
But when the doctor called, he said, I'm going, and felt it was urgent enough that he called the limo service immediately. He must have called immediately for the limo service to arrive and be there when the ambulance came.
That's right, and I actually talked to one of his friends who said Garry actually, the doctor that we're talking about, who was just a friend, it's not his actual doctor, the friend was somebody he knew he could call and like may come talk to him and see him at the house. That friend said that Garry was totally healthy. Besides the shortness of breath was obviously an acute symptom to the heart attack, Garry hadn't seen his doctor in a year. Like, Garry was a very healthy person, had no heart issues, no chronic disease, no anything that would think, or the doctor to be like, go now, because if somebody's healthy and they say, oh, I don't feel good, I'm achy, it could be the flu. So they didn't really at the time think you need to get there right this second on Wednesday because he was pretty healthy.
Hi, my name is Deborah from Pennsylvania. My question is, what is the liability factor on behalf of the physician, seeing that he saw him 24 hours before he was complaining of symptoms that could indicate a cardiac event? He did not do a full workup on him or insist on a full workup at that point.
I got to stop you. I am positive there is no liability. Number one, it was a friend of his who happened to be a doctor. Number two, he complained of shortness of breath and achiness. That does not automatically mean you're having a heart attack. No. He did say, look, if you feel this, go to the hospital. And number three, it was at his house, not the office. So there's no workup that could be done. The doctor acted appropriately here. I mean, the doctor
recommended he go to
he didn't do anything wrong. He probably did the right thing. It's just too bad that it didn't happen, you know, a half hour, an hour earlier.